Beneath the golden sun of the African savanna, where the tall grass sways with secrets of old, the animals gathered for a contest unlike any other. It was not just a race, but a test of pride and humility, of strength and wit. It all stood the mighty lion, king of the wild, his mane blazing like fire, and the small but clever hare, eyes gleaming with quiet determination. The prize promised honor and respect, yet the true reward lay hidden in the lesson the race would bring.
A lion and a hare, racing to win a prize. Long ago, in the heart of the African savanna, the animals lived in peace but with much pride. Every creature wanted to be respected and known as the best in something. The elephants bragged about their strength, the birds sang about their voices, and the cheetahs spoke of their speed. But one day, an argument broke out that shook the whole animal kingdom. The lion, known as the king of the jungle, stood tall and proud. He roared loudly, shaking the ground beneath the smaller animals. "I am the fastest in this land," he boasted. "No one can ever beat me, for I have strong legs, a mighty chest, and the heart of a ruler." The animals clapped and nodded, for they feared the lion. None dared to argue with him except for one small creature, the hare. The hare, with sharp eyes and quick feet, hopped forward boldly. "Lion," he said softly, "you may be strong, but speed is not only about size. Even the smallest feet can carry one far." The animals gasped. How could a tiny hare dare to challenge the mighty lion? Some shook their heads in fear, while others whispered in excitement. The lion's golden eyes narrowed. "Are you saying you can defeat me, little one?" His voice thundered like distant drums. The hare did not tremble. "Yes, lion," he replied with courage. "Let us race across the savanna. If I win, you will learn that strength is not everything. And if you win, then I will bow to you as the true master of speed." The news spread quickly. The antelopes carried it to the hills, the parrots shouted it through the forests, and the monkeys swung from tree to tree announcing it. The race between the lion and the hare became the talk of every creature. All waited eagerly to see who would win the prize of honor. The wise tortoise, respected by all for his fairness, was chosen as the judge. He stroked his long neck and said, "The race will begin at the baobab tree and end at the river's edge. Whoever reaches the river first shall be crowned the fastest in the land." On the day of the race, the savanna was alive with noise. Birds filled the sky, zebras lined the plains, and even the crocodiles lifted their heads from the river to watch. The sun shone brightly, painting the land with golden light. The air was thick with excitement and tension. The lion stretched his muscles, his mane glowing in the sunlight. He looked at the hare and laughed. "You are nothing but a meal waiting for me. I will not only win, but I will also show the world how foolish you are." His voice was full of pride and arrogance. The hare remained calm. He closed his eyes and whispered, "I may be small, but I carry wisdom in my heart, and wisdom in Hoginatu guide the fastest feet." The other animals listened closely, touched by the hare's courage. The tortoise raised his cane. "On your marks," he shouted. The lion dug his claws into the ground, ready to spring. The hare bent low, his long ears twitching. "Get set!" The crowd held its breath. "Go!" With a mighty leap, the lion dashed forward. Dust rose high into the air as his powerful legs carried him like thunder across the savanna. The ground shook beneath his steps. The hare, small and light, hopped quickly but carefully, avoiding rocks and tall grass. At first, the lion gained a great lead. The animals cheered as he disappeared far ahead. "The lion will win! The lion will win!" they cried. But the hare was not afraid. He kept moving, steady and focused, his heart full of determination. The lion looked back and laughed. "The hare is far behind. I can rest and still win." He stopped under a shady acacia tree. He licked his paw, stretched, and yawned. Then he lay down on the cool ground. "Let me close my eyes for just a moment," he said. But while the lion slept, the hare kept moving. Step by step, he drew closer to the river. His body grew tired, but his spirit grew stronger. "I must not give up," he whispered. "The prize is not only for me, but for all the small ones who are often ignored." As the hare hopped along, he passed animals who cheered for him. The antelope called out, "Run, little one." The birds sang encouragement. Even the elephants trumpeted loudly, impressed by the hare's bravery. The sun burned hotter, and sweat rolled down the hare's face. His legs ached, and his breath grew heavy. Still, he pushed forward. He thought of the pride in his people's eyes if he could win. Tears filled his eyes, but he wiped them quickly and ran on. Meanwhile, the lion slept deeply. Dreams filled his mind. Dreams of victory, glory, and the animals bowing to him. He smiled in his sleep, not realizing how much time had passed. The tortoise looked at the sleeping lion and shook his head. "Pride makes even the strong foolish," he muttered. The other animals began to whisper. "Will the hare really win? Can this small one truly defeat the mighty king?" Finally, the lion awoke. He yawned, stretched, and shook his mane. Then he looked up, and his eyes widened in shock. The hare was far ahead, already nearing the river. Fear struck the lion's heart for the first time. The lion roared with anger. His roar echoed across the plains and made the birds fly in fear. "No, I cannot lose to a small hare," he cried. With all his strength, he sprang up and dashed forward, his paws pounding like drums. The earth trembled under his speed. The animals gasped as they saw the lion flying across the savanna. His mane streamed behind him like fire in the wind. "Look, the lion is running again," they shouted. Dust rose in thick clouds as he closed the gap between himself and the hare. The hare, though tired, kept moving. His chest burned and his ears drooped with weariness. But when he heard the lion's roar behind him, his heart leapt in fear. "I must not give up now," he whispered to himself. "I am so close to the river." Tears blurred his eyes as he pushed harder. He thought of all the little creatures who had no voice in the animal kingdom. "If I win, I will give them courage," he told himself. "If I lose, they will believe small ones can never rise." His spirit carried him forward. The river shimmered ahead like a ribbon of silver under the sun. The hare could smell its freshness. His weak legs felt like breaking, but his heart grew stronger. He could hear the cheering animals urging him on. "Hare! Hare! Do not stop! You are almost there!" The lion, wild with desperation, ran faster than he had ever done before. His breath came in loud growls, his muscles rippled with power, and sweat flew off his body. "I will crush him before he touches the river," he roared. His pride burned like fire inside him, but wisdom whispered in the hare's ears, "Do not look back, do not fear, keep your eyes on the prize." And so he kept hopping, one painful step after another. Each small leap carried with it the dreams of all the weak and forgotten creatures. Just as the lion's shadow began to fall upon him, the hare gave his final jump and landed at the river's edge. The cool water splashed around his tiny feet. The crowd erupted in thunderous cheer. "The hare has won! The hare has won!" they cried in joy. The lion stopped, panting heavily just a few steps behind. His eyes widened with disbelief. His mighty chest heaved, and for the first time in his life, tears filled his eyes. "How could this be?" he whispered. "How could the king lose to one so small?" The hare fell to the ground, trembling from exhaustion. He closed his eyes, tears rolling down his cheeks, not of sorrow, but of triumph. The other animals rushed to him, lifting him gently. "You are our champion," they said. "You have shown us that courage is greater than pride." The tortoise raised his cane high. "Hear me, all creatures of the savannah," he declared. "The hare has defeated the lion. Let this day teach us that no one is too small and no one is too great. Wisdom and patience can overcome even the strongest power." The elephants trumpeted, the birds sang sweet melodies, and the monkeys danced in the trees. Even the crocodiles clapped their jaws in respect. The whole savannah celebrated the victory of the little hare, whose heart was bigger than his body. The lion lowered his head in shame. His mane, once bright with pride, now hung low and heavy. The animals who had once feared him now looked at him with pity. He had learned that arrogance can blind even the strongest of kings. Slowly, the lion walked to the hare. His eyes were soft and his voice was low. "Little hare," he said, "you have defeated me with courage and wisdom. Today, you are greater than I. Forgive my pride, and let us both lead the land with respect." The hare looked up at the lion with kind eyes. "Lion," he replied, "I do not seek to take your crown. You are still our king, but let this race remind us that even the small deserve honor. We can all share the pride of this land." The lion nodded, humbled. He lifted the hare onto his back and walked with him to the river. The animals cheered louder, for they had never seen such unity. The savannah shone brighter that day, as if the sun itself was proud of the lesson learned. From that day forward, the lion ruled not with pride, but with fairness. He remembered the sting of defeat, and he treated the small animals with respect. No longer did he boast of his strength, for he had learned that even kings can stumble. The hare became a symbol of courage. Whenever a small animal was mocked, they would say, "Remember the hare who raced the lion." And at once, silence would fall, and respect would be given. The story traveled across the plains, through rivers and mountains. Mothers told it to their children at night. The stars seemed to listen, shining brightly as the tale echoed through the villages. The story carried not just laughter and wonder, but also tears and wisdom. It became a light for those who felt small. Even the wind carried the memory of that race. When it blew gently through the grass, the animals said it was whispering, "Do not despise the small. Do not trust too much in strength. Remember the race of the lion and the hare." Years passed, but the memory remained fresh. The hare grew old, but he was honored wherever he went. The lion, too, grew wiser with age, telling young cubs, "Never laugh at the small. Respect them, for they may surprise you." One evening, under the baobab tree, the hare gathered the young ones around him. His voice was weak but warm. "Children," he said, "life is like a race. You may feel small, but if your heart is strong, you can reach the river of victory." The children listened with wide eyes, their hearts touched. Some smiled with hope, while others wiped tears. The hare's story gave them courage to face the challenges of life. They knew that even in their weakness, they could rise high. Iku. Lion, sitting nearby, lowered his head in respect. "I was proud, but pride made me blind," he said. "I nearly crushed the spirit of this hare, but he saved me by teaching me humility. Let this lesson guide you forever." That night, the moon rose high, bathing the land in silver light. The hare and the lion sat side by side, watching the stars. Their shadows, one small and one mighty, touched the earth together as friends. The savannah was at peace. The story of their race spread far beyond the animals. Humans told it in their villages, by the firesides, and under the great skies of Africa. They taught their children that wisdom and humility are greater than pride and power. Whenever someone felt too small to matter, they remembered the hare. And whenever someone felt too powerful to be touched, they remembered the lion. The story became a mirror for every heart, young and old. Generations passed, but still the tale lived on. The savannah echoed with laughter, courage, and songs about the race. And every time a hare hopped across the grass, the animals whispered, "He is the child of the one who defeated the lion." The river, too, kept the memory. Its waters shimmered with pride, as if still celebrating the day when wisdom defeated arrogance. The fish swam happily, and the breeze carried the song of victory across the land. And so the tale of the lion and the hare became an eternal lesson. It told the world that no one is too small to rise, and no one is too great to fall. In the heart of Africa, where the sun meets the earth, the race still lives, in every whisper of the wind, in every beating heart.